Hello everyone, this is Nick checking in with Millennial Think Tank, and today we're going to review How to Get Rich by Felix Dennis. Felix Dennis, he is the founder of Maxim magazine, you might have heard of him, and for this channel, if you watch it, you know I'm trying to get financially independent, so How to Get Rich is a good book to read, It's recommended to me by my uncle, he told me to read it, so I gave it a try, and this book, he goes over basically start to finish how to start a company, like how he started Maxim magazine, was able to make it a big success. And like in the book, he even starts off by letting you know that it's going to be a dog fight to get rich. It's not going to be easy, and you have to be willing to be rich. And not everybody, if they look deep down, values being rich enough to put the work in. And that was good. It gave me a chance to self-check, but I already knew I was going to check that box off. But I am willing to put the work in, whatever that may be, whatever is necessary to get rich, I'm willing to put that work in. And then also, this book goes over how much money you would need to get rich. So it breaks down how much it takes to get rich. Let me see if I can find it. I just passed it. How much it takes to get rich, like what he defines as rich. And what he defines as rich is a lot different than what a lot of people would think, honestly. Because even I was like, sheesh. What he considers like just above poor is like a lot of money. Give me 1 second. $100,000 to $400,000, the comfortable poor. $400,000 to $1 million, comfortably well off. $1 mil to $2 mil, the wealthy. $2 mil to $10 mil, lesser rich. $30 mil to $70 mil, the rich. And then everything above that, seriously rich, truly rich. Over 200 million, filthy rich. And then that's cash on hand. So for you to be considered poor, you have to have $100,000 cash on hand. And I kind of get what he's saying, because if you have $100,000 cash on hand, you start investing in like dividend stocks, you're getting 3% on your money. $100,000, $3% of that is what, $3,000. 3% of that is $3,000. So passive income, I would say stocks is one of the more passive things you can get into. You can make $3,000 a year on your money. So that's money. $3,000, I'll take $3,000. But I see what he means by the comfortably poor, because, and then the comfortably wealthy, like once you get to $1 million, that same 3% turns into $30,000 a year. $30,000 a year, even after taxes is enough, depending on how your lifestyle is, to at least pay your mortgage for the year. And, if you live, then your means or your house is paid off. It's probably enough to handle your living expenses for a year. So I understand that's a good starting point to be wealthy. Because if you have $1 million, in cash and easy liquidatable assets like dividend stocks, which is why I use the example, and you can get 3% on your money, you basically are good to go. You don't have to really work anymore if your living expenses are cheap enough or you paid everything off. And then total assets, comfortably poor, 2 to 4 million. Because your personal residence, people I like to count that in there. And I won't bore you guys. And then he said the super rich is $1.9 billion. That's a lot of money. So he lets you know, it humbles you a little bit, because, this is somebody who has real money, and he considers what I would think a lot of money, 6 figures and like $1 million. He considers that comfortable, So it's good to see that somebody, what you're striving for, somebody sees that as baby money, and it lets you know, that there's a level above where you're trying to go, which I like. It tells you how to get started in this book. The fallacy of the great idea, which is a good chapter. Like, a great idea is worthless. You can't patent an idea. You can only patent the execution of an idea. So everybody thinks they have a great idea, but is your great idea really marketable? Can you make money off of that idea? Does anybody want your idea? Like, you can have an electric spoon. That might be a great idea to you, but does anybody really want an electric spoon? It could, help you eat and two less chews or whatever, but is anybody going to pay you $200 for an electric spoon? No, you don't really have a product. And then after that, he tells you how to start off, how to keep your talent. Keeping the talent is very important. Making sessions to keep your talent. What to do if someone brings a great idea to you, and then he tells you some of the virtues that you're going to need. You're going to need to believe in yourself and things like that to work on a startup. And then you got to use the human capital, who you can use, and then you have to think bigger and think how to offset where you're going to go in the future. And by offset, I mean like you have to plan for where you're going to be, not where you are right now. And that's a good thing about this book. He really shows you from somebody who's done it what was necessary for him to do it. And, you always have to be innovating. You can't rest on your laurels. And, he had this great executive. He had to make concessions for him because he wanted to keep that talent in-house, hire people who are smarter than you, all of that good stuff. You want to start a company. And I feel this book, actually I would give this book a 3 out of 5. You say a 3 out of 5. It has a lot of good information, but this book is called How to Get Rich. And I think it was a little bit misleading. I think it should be How to Get Rich by Starting a Company, because this is what this book is for. If you want to be an entrepreneur, this book is perfect for you. If you go out and get this book, but for me, I don't want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be an investor. I will do things that an entrepreneur has to do to get to the point where my investments can pay for my lifestyle. But I don't have a passion for magazines. I want to start a magazine company. I don't have a passion for fashion. I want to start a clothing line or anything like that. But I would be willing to invest in a clothing line. I'd be willing to invest in a magazine company if I could look on paper and see that I can get the returns and have a belief in the ownership. If that, as an angel investor or, a family member or a friend came to me with an idea, and you're not an idea, but like business plan and everything says you want to invest in this, I would invest in that. But the hours and grueling time it takes to start a company, I don't think I would want to do that because I don't have anything that's really my baby, honestly. I have the real estate thing going, but that's an investment, and I want to grow to the point, once I get to, I'm still mulling over it, 10 to 20 properties, I'm going to get a property manager to manage the properties for me so I can focus on making other investments. So for this book, I would say 3 out of 5, but if you want to start your own company, you should read this book. This book is going to help you out a lot. It's going to give you a bird's eye view of how to start a company. So if you want to start a company, read this book. But for people who's watching this channel, some of you guys are with the passive income thing like I want, this book isn't great for that, but it does have aspects that you could take and implement into your investing strategy. For example, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So what I'm going to do, if I, heart crossed, knock on wood, have a tenant lined up, and if I can get the tenant in there at a good, before this week, is basically I have to finish up the house this week to get the tenant in there. And my cash flow will be at least $500 a month. I'm going to take $300, put it towards my student loans, and then take the other $200 and invest it. So I'm taking the money from real estate, paying down debt and investing it in stocks, in bonds, which to me is diversifying away from just real estate. Because in the '08 crash, real estate and stocks went down, but I have not to have all my money in one basket, or not all my money in real estate. I'm going to protect that real estate basket, protect it like it's my only basket, but I'm going to diversify away from real estate slowly but surely. But if you want to start your own company, give this book a read. I'll leave the link in the description to buy the book. I think it's a good read, but there's another book I'm currently reading right now called 100 Baggers. And if you're more the investor, not the entrepreneur type, that's a great book for you, and I'll give you guys a review on that once I'm done reading it. That's Nick checking out, and I'll leave the link in the descriptions below. Like and subscribe if you value the information I gave you today, and have a good one.